Well, in his first Old Trafford Premier League game, Ruben Amorim has emerged the winner against Everton 4-0. I tell you what, 4-0. That's what Ruben Amorim has gone ahead, obviously put past a side called Everton into the mix. Much like button, comment and share if you're only watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. Remember, we want to hit the magic number of 20,000 subscribers, and guys, continue to subscribe. And here we bring you the latest news and information as far as this game of football has really gone ahead to obviously go down at Old Trafford. Remember, 2 consecutive games played at Old Trafford, you know that very well, and we first had to obviously beat Bordeaux 3-2, and the manager has gone ahead obviously put in a very spectacular performance today, and I'm like, the players are really getting used to the intensity, because this system thrives on intensity. That is it, intensity, and obviously quick passing, that one-touch football, transitions, pressing high. That's what really gives this system what we call the positive results at the end of it all. And I know most of you are really excited. I'm really excited, by the way, but not overboard, because there are some things I really hate to see in this game that could have gone ahead to cost us in the first 10 minutes of the game. But it ended 4 in favor of Manchester United, and obviously 0 for the side of Everton. Marcus Rashford, 34th minute, putting United ahead. Joshua Zirkzee, 41st minute, doing the needful to obviously double the lead. In just 1 minute at the beginning of the second half, Marcus Rashford obviously made it 3-0, and Joshua Zirkzee, 64th minute, went ahead to obviously make it 4-0 for the club of Manchester United. And it shows you that the first goal has always been very important. And one thing that I've gone ahead obviously realize in what Ruben Amorim has gone ahead obviously master into his craft is killing off these games. You know, killing off these games. Like, the first half ended 2-0, and you know to it that the best and worst result for a team to obviously end the first half is 2-0, because when a team pulls one back, you are obviously having a goal difference or a goal margin of 1, and if at all they level to make it 2-2, they can easily obviously win. You get? And the best way to obviously find yourself in a position of obviously doing the needful to see to it that you put in the required shift altogether to obviously make this team forget that they cannot even come close to you, or they are not in a touching distance, is you go outside there, 1, score a goal immediately. And that's what Manchester United went ahead to do. In just 1 minute into the second half, Marcus Rashford went ahead to obviously score that goal, and we obviously went ahead to obviously put that to bed. And in the previous 2 games, we saw to it that we scored a goal in the first minute of the opening game. You understand? But this time round, it never happened in the first 45 minutes. But in the second 45 minutes, in the opening minute of the second 45 minutes, Man United were able to obviously go out and obviously put in a shift, and they really did that opening goal through Marcus Rashford, and it was all the press of Diallo. And I'm like, oh my God, this game is done and dusted. And that is what United has always gone ahead to try to threaten a team at the beginning of the game. And this looks like it's going to be the trump card of Ruben Amorim, and he is really loving it. So, very many positives. Marcus Rashford scoring a brace, and Joshua Zirkzee scoring a brace. You understand? And for Marcus Rashford, his first goal that he scores comes in through from a set piece. And we all know to it that the first assistant coach, Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United, is one responsible for these set plays. And you saw to it that those 2 set plays that we first got in the first half were all training ground set plays. The first one was really laid into Diallo. Diallo went ahead obviously volley that ball, but it was blocked by an Everton player from entering the goal. The second one, Marcus Rashford instantly pressed it, and it was deflected into the goal of Everton by Gerard Braithwaite. You understand? And I tell you what, it was really a very brilliant display. That those set plays have shown us that we can really score from set plays. Remember, this is the first goal that Manchester United has scored under Ruben Amorim in what we call free kicks or set pieces. You know, in the game against Ipswich, the goal we scored never came from a set piece. The three goals we scored against Bordeaux, none of those came from a set piece. All the 4 goals that we had scored in 2 games of Ruben Amorim had come in through from the open play. You understand? But this time round, one of those goals has gone ahead, obviously coming through from what we call the set play, and I'm really loving that, because you look at how certain games are really going to be won. You are not going to obviously create chances from the open play. You'll need that set play to obviously come up and obviously shock your opponent, hit that ball in the back of the net, and you leave the rest to the people responsible. You understand? So that's exactly what Manchester United is supposed to be doing, and I'm really looking at one of those positives. The other positive is us getting goals through pressing. The second goal you get and the 4th goal are all products of Amad Diallo pressing. You get Amad Diallo pressing hard, and he really went ahead to steal that ball. The first one, he stole it from Gerard Braithwaite, you know that very well, played into Bruno Fernandes. Bruno laid the cut back, Joshua Zirkzee, bang, into the back of the net. Now, for the 4th goal, he obviously goes ahead to obviously press Tawadowski in there for you, the captain of Everton, steals that ball from him. Marcus Rashford makes that near post run, and he's released by Amad Diallo with a very good weight, or with a very good timely pass, you know. And guess what Marcus Rashford did? He went ahead, obviously finished that ball into the back of the net. And you saw to it that 2 of those goals were as a result of pressing, and we saw a goal of pressing coming in through when you're playing against Bordeaux, you know, and looks like these repetitive patterns of Ruben Amorim are really trying to develop at Manchester United. If you've been following Sporting Lisbon, they've been scoring goal in the same style, and that's what United are really doing right now. And Ruben Amorim, he's like, all right, I'm here to obviously bring you the best of performances that I really want. And it really shows you that the manager is really one of those that has gone ahead to obviously do the needful and really put in a very beautiful shift altogether. So I'm loving what the manager is really doing. I'm just loving it, and I'm really here to see to it that all goes on well as planned. And this is the level that you're really reaching at Manchester United, that at least certain elements of Ruben Amorim are sinking into the team. And one of those that we've gone ahead to see, the same fashion of goals that we are really scoring is really into the team. You see to it that the most vibrant side is that of Amad Diallo. You understand? And that side is really vibrant for a reason, because of the quality of the player in Amad Diallo. I tell you, Amad Diallo is a very good quality player. You get? He's selfless. I tell you, if it's Marcus Rashford or Garnacho that goes ahead to obviously steal that ball from Gerard Braithwaite for the second goal, he doesn't really pass in Bruno. He'll try to obviously run into space and try to shoot at goal. I tell you that. Even for the 4th goal, if it's Rashford, he'll obviously go for a selfish effort. But all Garnacho, that's what they've not gone ahead to do. 90% chance they would have gone ahead to do that. But we score those goals because Amad Diallo is doing the needful. And I've always gone ahead obviously calling for Amad Diallo to come in and obviously start because of that. Because I know how good this player is when it comes to him playing in the final third. And you see the reason as to people are really complaining that he should obviously come in and really be played as a number 10. But all in all, if he's being played as a right wing back and he's really putting in the shift like that, then there is no need for him to obviously come up and really play into the number 10 role, because we are having players that can play there. Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Zirkzee has shown us that they can play into that position as one of the best, as one of the 2 number 10s in that system. So I think let Amad play play that side because he really has huge spaces to obviously operate. And he's press resistant. There is even a penalty that was denied him when he really went ahead to skip past 2-3 players of Everton. He sent to the wrong way and skipped past one, and he was brought down in the 18 yards box area. So I tell you, if it's working out like that, then it's all great. I think he's that player that has gone ahead to obviously fit into the Ruben Amorim system, a system that he has never played into, and he's really thriving through it, left, right, and center. I love what Ahmad is really doing on the field of play. 2 assists you get, and 1 secondary assists. He has been involved in 3 out of the 4 goals that Manchester United has gone ahead to score today. That is really very, very, very brilliant. And for Marcus Rashford, I want to see him firing in goals, because that's how you'll obviously get him back with his huge confidence, right? We want to see him smiling. The manager told us that it's up to him. He'll do his job, but it's up to Marcus Rashford to lift his spirits high like how they're supposed to be. And I've gone ahead to see him really do exactly what the manager wants him to do. Though his pressing is not yet all that great, but I think that near post run he makes for the 3rd goal really was really great. It really had a lot of message in it. Ahmad read his run like a book and really released him. Now, Joshua Zirkzee coming in through and obviously getting in a brace. You get in perfect positions. I've already told people that don't judge a number 9 when he's being suffocated with chances. We've seen it that in the previous game that we played against Bordeaux, Rasmus Højlund got himself an assist and a brace because he was fed in. You get? Marcus Rashford has found himself scoring a brace today because he was fed in. The other player, Joshua Zirkzee, has scored a brace because he was fed in. So just create chances for our number 9s, all people that are leading the line. I think goals will cross the line because these players are proven and they've gone ahead to obviously show us that they can score these goals. They can go ahead and obviously score goals against any team. All you have to do is, can we really come up and obviously score? That is the most important bit of it all. If we don't, then we'll find ourselves in a position of really complaining that our strikers are not good. Now, if we continue creating chances like that, no one is obviously going to talk about bringing in Gyökeres, because Rashford will score goals, Rasmus Højlund will score goals, and Joshua Zirkzee will score goals, and all of you will be like, we are good to go. Let's fix the defense and let's shift the midfield, because those are the positions we are really vulnerable. And this position where Amad Diallo plays, when he really went on the pitch down, all of us were worried that, oh my God, what is really happening at the club of Manchester United? Because he is really down, and we are playing against Arsenal in the midweek. Can we obviously go past Arsenal when you're not having this player with us? So I was really very worried, meaning that Kenda, that 17-year-old player, will be very much important to the system. Though he's not going to come in January, but the manager will obviously try to do the needful to see to it that he really keeps these players around. So that's what Manchester United had to put up yesterday, today, and thirdly, fourthly, because I'm going to talk a lot of things in that game. Bruno Fernandes, a brace of assists. In the Ruben Amorim era, Bruno Fernandes hadn't gone ahead to obviously get himself an assist, but he had an assist for the first goal and second goal. And what stat did he obviously come up with? He has gone ahead to involve himself in 10 goals this season. I think 5 assists, 4 goals for him. I think are they 6, something of the sort. That is Bruno Fernandes for you, and he is really improving. And I'm seeing him really not doing those Hollywood passes, meaning that Amorim has told him, if you are keeping doing these Hollywood passes, you are out of my plan. You are not going to be played into my position. You get? So exactly that's what I want from the manager. Come up and obviously threaten these players such that they play into the way you want. If he can really instill this in Garnacho and Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, we will be good to go as a club of Manchester United. We are going to threaten very many teams, I tell you. We are going to threaten very many teams because the intensity is right, the composure is right, And we have to obviously get most things really right into that game of football. So those are the positives I got into that game of football. But there are negatives I noticed. If you saw in the first 30 minutes, we gave away the ball a lot. We lost possession close to 6-7 times. I saw Casemiro losing possession, Bruno Fernandes losing possession, Joshua Zirkzee losing possession. That entire midfield was an entire mess. And when you look at the positions that we lost those balls, if Everton had quality players, I tell you, we would have gone ahead to be like 2 goals down in the first 30 minutes, And I don't think that we should entertain that in the game of Arsenal. You're playing against Arsenal. Odegaard gets that ball. All Declan Rice, all Martinelli, all Bukayo Saka. We are done. We are done. We are done. We are hammered. That's a kick. That's a hammer kick or a hammer blow into the teeth. You understand? So that is the hugest problem I saw today, that we are losing possession a lot in the midfield before we obviously went ahead, obviously score, meaning that there were a lot of pressure on these players, and I don't know why we couldn't obviously play our game. But you saw to it that when we went ahead, obviously score a goal, the first goal, we obviously went ahead, obviously settle in very well and really played very well. But I'm liking Ruben Amorim about what he's doing. He is really sticking to the principles and he's telling the players, this is what you're going to do. And the competitiveness is really high. Rashford led the line for the first game. He scored 1 goal. Second game, Rasmus Højlund comes in through, scores a brace, and then creates 1, 3 goals in there for you. And all that is competition. Joshua Zirkzee comes on today, he scores a brace. Rashford starts, leads the line, scores a brace. That's the competition we want at the club of Manchester United. Favoritism should be put down into the trenches. We shouldn't be embracing favoritism in here for you, because United is a club that you have to obviously get into the pitch on merit, and that's what the manager is really doing. When you look at the 7 players that have gone ahead to make the spine of this manager, obviously they've gone ahead to prove themselves. Andre Onana, let's talk about him. 6th clean sheet. He has kept a clean sheet at Old Trafford, and it's now a 6th clean sheet for the goalkeeper of Andre Onana. And today he fought for it. He fought for it. You saw that free header that Calvert-Lewin went ahead to obviously direct to him, and he was like, all right, I'm going to really save this. And he saved it. So his ball distribution has gone ahead to improve. Looks like this other goalkeeping coach has gone ahead to obviously come up with lots of techniques and knowledge that will obviously instill in this goalkeeper to obviously turn out to be one of those goalkeepers that most of you will obviously see everything really happen. So that is the man himself, known as Andre Onana, and he kept a clean sheet. That is really great. By the way, most of us were worried that can the system keep a clean sheet, and today we've kept 3 games, 1 clean sheet kept, and wait to see the biggest test on Wednesday. Can we go to Emirates and keep a clean sheet? Can we go to Emirates and obviously cause havoc to them and really play with the same intensity for a full 90 minutes? Because the question is always, can these players do this for full 90 minutes? You understand? Then the other negative is we've lost 2 players. And they're really out of the game of Arsenal. Not because of injury, but because of them accumulating yellow cards. Lisandro Martinez and Kobbie Mainoo are out of the game of Arsenal. That is it. They're not going to be playing. And I think that really affected the game negatively in as far as substitutes for the manager really concerned. I don't believe that in his plan, Matthias De Ligt was supposed to go off and Mazarawi. But because he knew to eat that, Lisandro Martinez is off, and he needs to reserve these other players. He took them off because it was 3-0. And he said, let me bring on Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw to partner with Lisandro Martinez. Kobbie Mainoo too is out of that encounter because he has gone ahead, obviously, accumulate the number of yellow cards. So those yellow cards affected us a lot. But it's better that we've gone ahead, obviously, get them now. And those 2 are really going to rest themselves. Midweek, they're away. And they'll be breathing themselves, all preparing themselves, obviously come up and really putting in a very good shift all together during the Nottingham Forest game at Old Trafford. That is over the weekend. So I'm really gonna be waiting to see how everything is gonna be panning out for the club of Manchester United in this scenario, and see how things are really gonna be getting on well as planned for this mighty club. So what other negative have I gonna hate to see? And the other person that was doing blind passes and putting blind passes was Diallo. Looks like there was a disorganization in there for you, but we later settled it in very well and really played very well. So Amadi Diallo, I've talked about him. Guys, he's a player to watch. I tell you, Amadi Diallo is a player to watch, and he might turn out to be the star boy under Ruben Amorim for this system. Most people are talking about Kobe Mainoo, they're talking about Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, but Amadi Diallo is exploding. 3 assists in 2 Premier League games, and he hasn't yet started. The only task he has is to keep himself fit. If he keeps himself fit, he's gonna really move edges. He's really gonna be the player, the star player in this system, because of his qualities that differ from all what we have at the club of Manchester United. He's a different species of a player, and he's really very important. You understand? Now, let's get into these stats and see how United really featured today, and the rest of the things are really going to be coming in through into the player ratings, a video that's going to be recorded 2-3 hours from now. Now, 11 shots by Man United, Everton had 8. 5 shots on target by Manchester United, 2 shots on target by Everton, 60% ball possession by Manchester United, 40% ball possession by Everton. You are seeing that at least every game we are averaging 60% ball possession. And we are waiting to see how this side of United is going to be looking when they're playing against Arsenal in another big test that is coming on Wednesday. You understand? So we are waiting to see whether that will obviously happen into the mix. Then 619 passes completed by Manchester United. Everton completed 408, meaning that in the 3 games we're going to hit to play, we are averaging 600 passes per game. Against Arsenal, I want us to see how many are we really going to be averaging. 89% passing accuracy by Manchester United and 87% passing accuracy by Everton. 12 fouls to both sides. 2 yellow cards to Manchester United, that is Kobe Mainoo and Lisandro Martinez, that have gone ahead of to keep them out of the game of Man United versus Arsenal on Wednesday next week. 3 yellow cards to Everton. Right, 3 yellow cards to Everton. Then no red cards issued to either sides. 3 offsides to Manchester United, 2 offsides to Everton, 2 set pieces for Manchester United, and 2 corners to Manchester United and 2 corners to Everton. Now we get onto the table and see how the table is really looking for now after us going for that. Now, I think the others don't matter. Let's talk about Manchester United and where we are right now on the table. We are 9th onto the Premier League table, and we've registered 19 points. You understand? We've registered 19 points as the club of Manchester United so far. And top 4, when you look at the 4th team, it's Brighton, and they're having 23 points, and we are 4 points off the top 4. You get? Man City is having 23 points, and it shows you how things are really changing. You get? Things are really changing thick and fast. They are playing Liverpool today, meaning that if Man City happen to lose to Liverpool, then they'll find themselves in a position of really being 4 points behind Manchester United. You understand? So that's how football really changes. And I told you that it's always good to obviously look at people when they're really doing the needful into the Premier League and giving analysis after 10, 15, how many games to come, because it's now 13 games in. City is 23 points and the United is having 19. So with us playing Nottingham next weekend, we might obviously find ourselves into the top 5 because Nottingham is there. Nottingham is having 22 points. We are hosting them at Old Trafford, which is really going to be a must win. I really anticipate, we will be at 22 points, and our goal difference is now at 4 points, meaning that at 4 goals, meaning that we already have more goals than Nottingham Forest. Any win against them will obviously see the club of Manchester United really go ahead of Nottingham Forest. So that's United for you. Spurs is there, Brentford is there, and look at the likes of Brighton and so on and so forth, meaning that the table is really taking shape for the club of Manchester United. And I've always told you that the two big games we've left with is Man City and Arsenal, and we're waiting to see how that pans out. So that's how the table is really looking. I think it's really great for us to see to it that all is really moving on as planned, but the manager is really doing a wonderful job, and the players are not really wasting chances for the club of Manchester United. And scoring into the mix is Manchester United, and I think we are really going to be doing the needful into this beautiful game of football. So for me, I'm not bothered with what is happening at Manchester United. All I wanted is my manager to win, and he has gone ahead to win, because I need to eat that if he doesn't win this game of Everton, and maybe we draw with Arsenal, pressure will really increase onto his side. But this win, which has been really comfortable, we had control of the game, has gone ahead obviously sent a message to the journalists that please, there is no room for you to obviously come out and criticize our manager. That is it. Don't criticize him. Don't talk anything about him. He's here to stay, and he's here to obviously put in the required shift possible to see to it that all really moves on as planned. So that is Manchester United for you, and a win against Everton is really very important. Ruben Amorim told us that when you don't win, you don't train well to improve the team. You are like correcting the mistakes. Every time you win, you are like, let's open the next chapter, and we don't know which page Ruben Amorim is on at the club of Manchester United. I don't know which page he's on at, but all in all, he's really doing the due diligence, and he's really putting in the required shift altogether. Let me go into the comment section. Geoffrey Ochan, the boys are now starting to get used to the formation. Yeah, they are, but the question is, for how long can they go? Because they've gone ahead to do this with different managers, but for how long can they go? You get? How long can they go? That is the big question. They are playing like this. Each and every game they're going to improve, but can they go for 3-4 seasons playing like this? That is where the big question mark is. Then Ochan says we only need around 5 points to the top 4. All right, and there is a very big hinge of Arsenal in there for you. Fred Kabaya, what a fantastic performance from our boys. All right, Henry J. Uganda Rokani, I honestly see my players gaining momentum. Yeah, they are, and the manager is really giving them the right rotation and rest. Alal Dinkins, I'm very happy, bro. Then Tressa says, good evening, my brother Aradi. I'm so excited with Manchester United performance today. All right, thank you. Alal Dinkins, Arsenal next without Licha and Kobe Mainu. Yeah, we can really do the job. We can do the job provided we really put in the required shift all together. Then Billion says the match to Amazon. All right, Asimo then says 3 games, 7 goals. What a start. Manchester United now scoring goals for fun. And one thing about those goals, we are really looking in for our number 9. And the Ruben Amorim and Erik ten Hag era, our number 9 struggle to get goals, but every person who is really putting there to lead the line is really scoring goals for fun, and that shows you the improvement that Ruben Amorim has gone ahead obviously come up with, and that is kudos for him, and that's why we should really back this manager to the fullest. Not so, let's obviously back the manager as expected. Then Asimwe, not even 90%, but 100% Rashford was going to shoot. Ahmad is a genius for sure. He is the best player at Manchester United. People will come out and obviously hail those scoring goals, but I tell you, this player is very brilliant. Very brilliant, especially into the final third. He is selfless. He's selfless. You get? Very selfless. The only time he really shot at goal was when he was really required to do so. But look at the 3 goals from the second goal, third goal, fourth goal. How he presses, wins the ball, he composes himself, and obviously does the needful. If all the players that are playing into the front position, they're really going to be doing what Ahmad is really doing, I tell you, we are going to kill teams, because with the intensity we play with, it's obviously going to be important. And one thing I'll talk about is Zirkzee. Look at that third goal. You know, that pass that he really does to Amadi Diallo. It was really exquisite, and I was like, oh my God, he's really doing the needful. And this is what people don't know about Joshua Zirkzee. He might look slow, but he rarely loses possession, and that one-touch football is really great. His second ball is really very perfect, and he's really doing the needful. And the Amorim ball went ahead, obviously rolled to that Old Trafford, and those were the results. Then Thomas Donker, greetings from Ghana, my brother. It has been some time, but we've gone ahead, obviously have something to say with you. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I sign out for now. See you later. Rokan David remains my name, and see you when you see me with the player ratings being uploaded onto this channel. Continue to subscribe. We want to hit 20,000 subscribers, and as we speak right now, Liverpool is really leading Man City by 1-0. You understand? So let's wait and see how that game of football is going to be going. I know most of you are really watching that game, so let's return to Rokani Media Food when the game is done and see what my thoughts are really going to be about that beautiful game of football. Bye-bye. United win 4-0 for the very first time in the career of Ruben Amorim. Eric Ten Hag never beat a team 4-0 in the